Alex from Security Tech. Today I will present you the system 4S. So here is the system. What I really like about this system is that it's auto-directional, which means that the only button that you can press is the one highlighted blue. So for example, if I was to press any other button, it wouldn't work. So you cannot, let's say, press a wrong button and make a mistake on the system, for example. So first thing first, I'm going to make a fake leak to do an example of how the valve would react. So to make a leak, you have to have two of those gold coins in the water. So for example, instantly you're going to receive a memo on the LED controller, which is going to tell you what type of alarm you have. Now we have an alarm, and it's a water leaking alarm, water detection. You'll always have the emplacement, which in this case is the master bedroom sink, number 21, which is also underneath the sensor. Now, for example, right underneath, you're gonna see, just a second. So the second that you see that are being accumulated is the amount of time that the sensor is underneath water. So, for example, if I was to dry it, instantly it's gonna say restored. So, first thing first, if we would have a leak, we would go to the emplacement and look if it's a normal cause or if it's a pipe that has burst. So, if it would be a normal cause, for example, a toilet that overflows, we can always dry the sensor, all the gold pins, and then do the instruction to reset the system. Now, if there would be a real leak, I would strongly suggest to call a plumber. But when everything is done, we can now reset the system. Like I said, we have to dry all of the gold pins, and after we have to follow the blue indicator. So like earlier, if I was to press on anything else, nothing will work. So I'm gonna press on the blue one, and the bip 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 is gonna stop. Now the blue is still there, so I'm gonna press it again. Now it's telling me to hold to reset. So I'm gonna hold it. And then the system is now okay, but the valve is still closed. As you can see inside, the valve is closed. So now, like I said, I'm going to follow the blue indicator, and you'll be able to see the valve opening. Wonderful. Like I said earlier, you have multiple type of alarm. What I mean by multiple type is that you might have, for example, in 7 years, a low battery. Because we do a warranty on the batteries for at least 7 years. So it's likely that you're not really going to change this battery. So if you would have a power failure, you always have a backup battery that comes with it. It goes between 24 and 88 hours of life batteries. So an extreme case, you would have like a verglas, like we say in French. And they would have a power failure for over 48 hours, and there wouldn't be any power. Instantly, the system is going to shut off the valve to make sure that if you weren't home and there's no limitation in the panel, that the valve is still protected and now closed. So, for example, if I disconnect the system, you see that now it's off, instantly the valve is going to close. We can also set it up that it won't close, it depends from what you like. Yep, so we're gonna replug. So once it's getting replugged, it's gonna be back open. Also, the system is instantly gonna power back on. Now, if another case, you have a power failure over 48 hours and now you're still home, but the valve has been closed, you can open the valve manually by pressing this button like up, and then you can manually open the valve by turning this little thing. Now I'm closing it, but in the other case it would be to open it. Also, whenever the power is going to be back on, you're going to have a trouble, which an alarm on the system to tell you that the valve is overdriven. So to make you remember to push back the button, so now it's connected with a controller. Because like I said earlier, whenever this thing is up, it's now manually and it doesn't have any interaction with the controller anymore. So, really important. Also, you have an app that comes with the system, and also you also have a LTE push that goes inside the system. So you're always going to be able to connect yourself to the system, since even though you might not be connected to Wi-Fi because of a power failure, the LTE push is still going to work. So now I'm going to do a little demo of the app. So the app is called Noah Presence. I'm going to open it. Then I have to push my own code. So, and here I have this little one, which is example. If I were to press on it, I would connect myself to the system. Now I'm just gonna look if the LTE is not connected. Shouldn't be long. Since I did. Okay. Just reconnect myself. Perfect. So you can control the valve from a distance. Right now I'm closing it, as you can kind of see. I can open it. Now I can also see if there's a leak. I can see it on my phone. If I press on those three lines, it's going to tell me exactly what type of alarm we have, how long has been the alarm, and exactly which sensor it is. So it would be the same thing as if you were looking at the controller. Once you dry all the system, it's going to look like a little bit red lighter, and then you can press reset. As long as you haven't dried the sensor, like on the controller, you won't be able to reset the system. So if now that it's dry, I can press initialize, and I can open back the valve. Perfect. Now you have to know that the system can be both in English and also in French. And that's it.